Hello. Hello and welcome. Welcome to the second PlanBee live learning session. I hope that you can all see me and you can all hear me. Hi. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Today is the second of our live learning sessions, so please do be kind and patient with us. We're still trying to iron out the creases and make sure that this works as well as possible and is as enjoyable as possible for everybody. I'm really excited about today because we are doing art and it's for Year 5 and Year 6. But if you are a slightly younger learner, that's absolutely fine too. You might just need a little bit more help joining in. So, we're going to start today's main session in about 10 minutes time. And that just gives everyone time to arrive and get what they need and get ready. So, in a few moments, during that 10 minutes before we start, I'm just going to talk through with parents here watching today a little bit about the structure of this session and then how you can help your children and a little bit of guidance and information about upcoming things. But before that, I have a quick sketching task for all of our young artists taking part and here already today. So, my Year 5 and 6 and even younger artists, hello. My name is Mr. Ryan and today I'm your teacher. And for this quick sketching task, before we start today's main session, you will need a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper and your imagination. And that's it. So, take a look at this picture. Look at this astronaut spacewalking. I think they might be outside the International Space Station. Can you imagine what it's like to be up on the International Space Station, floating out in space for weeks on end? Only your other astronauts there for company, looking down on the Earth. I wonder what this astronaut might dream of at night when they go to sleep. What do you think you would dream of if you were an astronaut when you went to sleep up there in the International Space Station? I would like you to use your imagination and do a quick sketch to show what you think this astronaut might dream of when they sleep. Or, if you want to think about what you would dream of when you're an astronaut, you can sketch that too. On a piece of paper, I'd like you to draw a little dream bubble like this. Hopefully, you can see this clearly. There we go. Yes, I'd like you to draw a little dream bubble, and inside that, can you draw for me a quick sketch? Doesn't have to be perfect. What is this astronaut dreaming of when they go to sleep? Or what would you dream of? Okay, off you go. So, parents, while our young artists are taking part in our quick startup activity, I'll just tell you a little bit about today's session. This is the way that we're going to run it today, and hopefully future sessions will be similar as well. So, just a few more minutes for people to arrive. Then we're going to start today's main art session, which is Art Illusions for Year 5 and Year 6. And of course, younger learners can take part as well. You might just need to support them a little bit more and help them. The only things that your pupils, your young artists are going to need today are paper, pen or pencil, and ideally a ruler. But if you don't have a ruler to hand, I'm going to show children how to make a straight edge that they can use instead. So you really don't need anything much at all. If you look in the description below this video, you'll see that there is a register, and we'd really like it if you could register on that form now, or before the end of the session. That just helps us know who we're teaching and who we're working with today, and we can match up YouTube names to children's names. The second link in the description below is a link to worksheets which you can use for today's art session. And I'm going to show some of those during the main session today. So if you are unable to download those or print them, it's fine. Don't worry, you can do everything that we're going to set out today without those. They're helpful if you can get them. And if you can't print, you can just display them on your screen. Finally, at the 11:30ish, we're going to invite our young artists off to do an independent task for a few minutes, a little arty task, and that's while we can have a parents Q&A. So parents, if you have some questions about home learning or these sessions or anything that we do here at PlanBee, then hold on to those questions and we'll have those during the Q&A at 11:30. Finally, I'm going to invite our young artists back to join us towards the end of the session, and that's because I've got one or two little follow-up activities, including an arty activity to extend learning beyond this session and into the rest of the week if you wanted. So I'll show you that. Lastly, I would like to tell you about our email address, homelearning@planbee.com. Again, that's in the description below. And if during this session you take a photo of your children working, or perhaps of some of their artwork in progress, please do send it in to homelearning@planbee.com during this session. And if we have time, we might even look at one or two of those pictures at the end. So, I think we're nearly there. It looks like we've got lots of people here on the stream. Fantastic. If you've just joined us, welcome. We're starting the main art session in a couple of minutes. Hello. On the live chat today, we have got two of my teacher colleagues who are helping moderate and answer questions. We've got Emma and Abby there on the chat, and they're there to help catch any questions that I can't quite answer in time and to help you out as well. Parents, this is a supervised session, so please do supervise your children during this. I'd like to remind you as well that YouTube accounts are for over 13s, so if you would like to be able to join in on the live chat, then you'll need to sign in via one of your accounts and just supervise children during this. Okay. Well, lots of us here. I can't wait to see some of your astronaut dream sketches. As I said, please do email them in to us, photos of your work, to homelearning@planbee.com. I can't wait to see what you've thought of. So, just before we start today's main session, I asked you to draw a quick sketch showing what this astronaut might dream at night. And this is actually a real astronaut. This is an astronaut who I read a little of in an interview yesterday, and I really liked one of the things this astronaut said. This is an astronaut called Scott Kelly, and this is a quote from him from a couple of days ago, and I'm just going to read it to you now because I really like it. He said that one of the side effects of seeing Earth from the perspective of space, at least for me, is feeling more compassion for others. As helpless as we may feel stuck inside our homes, there are always things we can do. So I thought that was really nice. Okay, are you ready, artists? Let's get started. So, art illusions, that's the subject of today's session. And as I said, you will just probably need a pen or a pencil, ideally, and some paper. a ruler if you have it. Now, if you don't have a ruler to hand, you can actually make a brilliant straight edge just using a piece of paper. And I'll show you how to do that. Any piece of paper will do. So I've just got some A4 printer paper here, and what I've done is I've pressed it, folded it in half several times just on my desk. And if you fold it in half enough times, you end up with a perfectly straight edge, which is really good for drawing up against. So if you haven't got a ruler, you can do that. Here is what we're learning today, to explore how artists use perspective in their work. Now, I wonder what perspective means when we're talking about artists and their work. Do you think you have an idea about what perspective might mean? Have a think about that. And if you're working with a partner or with an adult today, then you can say what you think that might mean now, or you can tell me and Abby and Emma on the live chat. Okay. So I'm going to read along on these slides, and you're welcome to read along as well. Artists have been trying to fool people for thousands of years by creating illusions. Now, what kind of illusions do you think artists use? Think about some works of art that you've seen and some illusions that they do. Ah, lovely. I'm getting some nice comments. People are saying perspective might mean to have a view. Lovely. Let's find out. Ah, some interesting ideas. Okay. Yeah. So artists might create illusions by having see-through parts of their work or shades. Okay, interesting. Oh, they might use 3D. Brilliant. Yeah, lovely idea. Okay, let's take a look. So this is a painting called Perspective of Gardens by Caruso. One illusion artists try to create is that of depth and distance in their paintings or drawings. So that is what we're talking about with perspective in this case. Perspective, creating a sense of depth or distance. How's the artist made the viewer, that's us, feel as though they could just walk straight into this painting? What have they done? Have a think now. And again, you can tell your partner or you can tell me on the chat. Ah, okay, that's a lovely idea. Somebody's saying here that they might use lines. Lines might be important in these perspective pictures. So, objects appear to get smaller as you get further away from them, and parallel lines eventually converge and meet at a point. In art, this is known as the vanishing point, and you can see it on this example of some train tracks here. They sort of seem to disappear almost away to nothing. I guess they vanish. So the point where two lines meet at a vanishing point, it's on an imaginary line called the horizon line. And I think we all know what the horizon is when we look out into the distance, out there in the real world. I'm looking out my window now at the horizon. So the vanishing point is on the horizon there. So artists use horizon lines and vanishing points in their work to give paintings a sense of depth and distance. And you can see there on this picture, the horizon line has been drawn in green, and there are these vanishing points that go up to the horizon line there. So now we're getting on to the fun bit. We're going to have a go at creating our own vanishing point pictures today. So let's have a little practice now on a piece of scrap paper or in a notebook if you have one. All you need now is your straight edge or ruler and a pencil, and I'm going to draw along with you. In this picture here that you can see, the red lines are called construction lines, and they lead directly to the vanishing point. And the vanishing point there is on the horizon line, which is drawn in blue. Can you see how the construction lines are being used here? They help keep everything in the building in proportion and create a sense of distance and depth. Now, it's time for us to have a go. I hope you've got paper and a pencil in front of you, and I'm going to have a go as well. So just start by drawing on your piece of paper a horizon line, somewhere across the middle, like this blue line here, and I'm going to do that now. Then draw a construction line going down towards one of the bottom corners. That's this red line here. And for what we're practicing here, that's a little bit like the curb at the edge of a street. Just draw a construction line going down. Then we're going to draw the bottom, starting at the bottom corner, the end of a row of terraced houses. And you can do that with a ruler, or you can now draw this bit freehand, which is what I'm going to do. And the top of my building is going to go above the horizon line. Oh, my building's a bit wobbly. There. So I've just started going above the horizon line like that. Then you can draw some more construction lines, and they can go up above the horizon line where you join up with the roof of your house here. And they're going to help you draw a 3D building that appears to have perspective, vanishing towards that vanishing point. You can rub out those construction lines later. Finally, you can draw the other end of your row of terraced houses and windows and the rest of the roof and any other features you might like on here. So just have a go at quickly doing that now. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just practice. Never has to be perfect, does it? I'm just going to draw a little front door as well. There we are. There's my practice. I hope you can sort of see that. I'm sure yours are much better. So construction lines, they're really useful for making sure that your drawings stay in perspective. And eventually, if you practice this a lot, then you won't need to draw them out anymore. You can just sort of use your eye to judge where those construction lines would go. So, do you think you've understood how you can draw your own vanishing point picture? Take a look at this example here now. Now, if you've got a partner that you're working with, or you're working with an adult at home, do you think you can explain in your own words how the construction lines have been used here to keep this row of trees in perspective? If you're on the live chat, then you can tell me now in your own words. How do the construction lines help here? Okay, lots and lots of good comments explaining what perspective pictures are and what the vanishing point is. Thank you. Yeah, my camera's in front of the last picture, isn't it? Let me move that. There we go. Thank you for telling me. There we go. Hopefully now you can see that last picture. Brilliant. Lovely comments here. Right. So Now it's time for you to go and have a go at creating your own perspective Vanishing Point works of art. I'm going to show you the first one of the worksheets that are available to download via the link in the description. Here they are, and in a moment I'll move my video again so that you can see even better. If you are slightly younger than Year 5 or Year 6, I would recommend that you have a go at the challenge on challenge card A up here, or B. And you can create your own Vanishing Point picture that has a road lined with trees that lead to a horizon line, or a road lined with houses. You can see here on challenge card B, this purple one here, that the road actually goes to a different vanishing point other than the middle of the horizon there. So that's a slightly different challenge for you to have a go at. So if you're slightly younger than Year 5 or 6, I would recommend that you decide to do challenge A or challenge B. You can do this on plain paper or in a sketchbook, and I would really love to see some of your pictures after today's session. If you are in Year 5 or Year 6, or maybe even a little bit older, then you might like to choose any of the challenge cards in today's download. There are a number of different challenge cards with different vanishing points to give you an idea about creating your own vanishing point illusion art. Including, I'm going to move my camera over again. Here we are, challenge E, which I think is a really tricky one. It's got 2 vanishing points on the horizon. Can you imagine if you're standing on the corner of a street and you're looking at a corner where the road goes off in 2 different directions, and you can see the fronts of the buildings all the way down there. So that's got 2 vanishing points, and that's a really tricky challenge, that, but some of you might like to have a go at it. Okay. So, what I'm going to do now is challenge you artists to go off and in the next 10 or 15 minutes start to create your own fantastic vanishing point work of art based on one of these challenge cards in the downloads today. I'm going to leave the first ones up here on screen so that you can see them, and you can copy those horizons and construction lines on your own picture if you can't access today's downloads. So, if you're ready, then you can go off and make a start. And now it's time for our parents' Q&A about home learning and these sessions and anything else. So, good luck. I'm really looking forward to seeing your pictures, and I will see you back here in a few minutes' time. Okay, so while children, our young artists are off creating their perspective, vanishing point works of art, now it's time for some questions and answers from parents, and I'm ready and here to help with anything at all to do with learning at home, these sessions as well, and anything really to do with the resources that we provide here at PlanBee as well, if there are any parents here. We've got Emma and Abby on the chat to help as well. If I don't see all of your questions in time. So just a reminder again, as we've got some questions coming in, we have our email address, homelearning@planbee.com, and it would be really nice to see some of the fantastic artwork which I know that your children will be creating today. So if you can take a photo and send anything in, that would be absolutely brilliant. Again, as well, a reminder that at the bottom of the description, there is an enrolment form, and that's to line up for future home learning sessions. As I say, we're just getting started, but we will be doing home learning sessions for Key Stage 1 children and children in Year 3 and 4 as well, and some future Key Stage 2 sessions. So make sure that you sign up there and you'll be the first to receive information about those upcoming sessions. So I'm just going to take a look at some of these questions right now. Okay, lots and lots of people here. Hi, Max and Melly. Okay. If there are any children or artists today who are not quite sure about what they're doing, and then then of course that you can perhaps ask an expert at home for a little bit of help with this today, maybe a grown-up, but also you can pop your question in now as well. Okay, is there a way to show you our drawings? Yes, there is, and I'd really love to see those. We have an email address, homelearning@planbee.com, and if you can send a photo of your work, then it'd be fantastic. I'd love to see your work, and maybe we'll talk about it next session. Or if you're able to send me a photo of anything today while we're here, then maybe, with parents' permission, we might be able to show some at the end. Let's have a look. Some other questions. Are we doing anything tomorrow? Well, there will be another live session tomorrow, and information will be going out on the mailing list to parents who've enrolled via that link. So there'll be information going out later today about what tomorrow's live session will be. Okay, so we still have time for a couple more questions. Ooh, okay. I'm just looking now, and we've had some pictures in already. Oh, lovely. So, sorry, if you think the screen has frozen, I'm just having a look at some of the emails that have come in already, and we've had a really lovely email in already, and that's from Olivia. Hi, Olivia, and I've just seen your astronaut dream picture. Fantastic, and it looks like in your dream picture the alien is the astronaut is dreaming of aliens and the Earth in the background, perhaps? That's really nice, I like that. I'm just going to have a look at a couple more now. Okay, and Arthur, hello Arthur. I'm looking at your astronaut dream picture now. Okay, and your astronaut you think was dreaming of aliens as well. Ooh, they look scary. That's a lovely picture, thank you. Okay, just while we've got some artists working away again on their perspective pictures, hopefully we're having lots of pictures of lovely roads lined with trees and houses. I'd like to remind you as well that if you find these sessions helpful, parents, please do shout about it on your social media platforms. So shout about it on Instagram and come and say hi, we're on there. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. That way, as well as enrolling and getting the emails from us, you'll also get notifications when the next live stream is upcoming. But Emma, I know, would love it if you would mention these live streaming learning sessions on Instagram as well. I'm going to look at one or two more pictures which I think have come in already. So let's have a look. It was lovely to see some of those astronaut dream pictures straight away. Let's have a look now. Lovely, some nice pictures coming in. So I'm just going to rub out my construction lines now and just see if I can add a bit more detail to my sketch. If you have something like a sketchbook at home, it's a really brilliant way to practice and improve your art because it lets you look back at what you've drawn before. And then you can practice and develop your drawings. So if you're working in a book today, that's brilliant. Keep your drawings, even if they're not perfect. I mean, it's never perfect, is it? But and it doesn't have to be. But then you can look back and hopefully you can have another go at doing a perspective drawing again. And then you can compare it to your previous drawing and see how your art skills have changed over time. So we'll just allow 1 or 2 more minutes for drawing time and parents Q&A. Okay, lovely. Oh, it's really nice to hear that you're enjoying these sessions. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it can be, so somebody is saying that you might have to go back and watch a beginning part later just to make sure that you understand. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it can be a bit tricky, can't it, when we have to race along. So yes, you can, after this stream has ended, watch the video again at any time, and it will be up on our YouTube channel along with yesterday's live stream as well, so that you can pause, replay, and go back over things again. For now, if you're not quite sure, I would just suggest that you just have a go. There's no harm in just having a go, and there's no getting things wrong with this art that we're doing today. So you might want to try just drawing a horizon line, this horizontal line that you can see on challenge card A here, on a piece of paper, and a couple of construction lines, these are called, a bit like the curbs at the edge of a street. And then you could have a go at drawing some houses on that curb on the edge of the street, a little bit like what I was practicing here, and I'm sure we've got artists with much better pictures than mine, but hopefully you can see how I've drawn the end of a house coming off the edge of that construction line at the bottom, below the horizon line. And then I've used the construction lines there diagonally, going up and above the horizon to find the edge of the roof vanishing off into the distance, and to find the top of the door there as well. And so the door appears to vanish off into the distance as well. Oh, right, have I seen your picture yet? Oh, so another question just coming in. Do your flat lines stay in line with the horizontal line, e.g. if you're drawing lines down the centre of the road? That's a very good question. If you're not sure about where to draw construction lines for different places, let me show you now. So you'll have to bear with me because it's difficult to see with me drawing down here. But I'm just going to draw the road on the other side, the curb on the other side of my road that I was drawing. And if you were putting something on the centre of the road, they would start, so say you were drawing your line markings down the centre of the road, a bit like there are to keep cars on either side, then you would start with your ruler on your vanishing point on the horizon. So I'll just show you that. I've just drawn, and I hope you can see this, I've just drawn those road markings straight down the centre, starting at the vanishing point with a ruler. And the trick to getting started with drawing something on those construction lines there is to start with this sort of flat face. So the flat face of the building here to begin with, and just start with one corner on the construction line there and draw the flat face as if you were looking at the very end of a terrace of buildings. Or you can draw things that appear to be completely flat, and you can just draw those starting anywhere on a construction line. So you might draw a little signpost or a lamppost or a letterbox starting there. I'm going to draw a letterbox. So you see, you can draw completely flat objects anywhere you like on your construction line, and the more little details you add, the more it starts to look like a real scene. We just have time for one or two more questions. Okay, lovely. Somebody's doing a perspective vanishing point picture of a countryside with a river. Lovely. I can't wait to see some of your artwork. Let's just see if we've had any more pictures in. We have. Wow. Okay. So, Orla May, I'm just looking at your pictures now of some trees disappearing off to that vanishing point. That's fantastic. Shall we have a look at that together now? Let me get that up on screen for everyone to see. There we are. Very well done, Orla May. That's beautiful. Lovely trees there. I really like the way they're starting to get smaller as they vanish off into the horizon as well. That's really nice. And of course, you could eventually rub out those construction lines to make it look even more realistic. That's really, really nice. Very well done. Let's have a look at another one. Oh, really, really nice. I'm so pleased somebody's having a go at that tricky challenge card, drawing a river vanishing off into the distance. Now, I'm not completely sure. Whoop, my screen's going mad. I'm not completely sure who this is, but it's lovely here seeing this work of art in progress, and I hope you can see this on your screen. Look at that, there we go. And that's a winding river disappearing off into the distance. I wonder what you could add to the banks of that river to create an even better sense of perspective and the illusion of that river disappearing off into the distance. One more minute and we're going to come back to finish up today's art session. Now that doesn't mean you have to finish your pictures. You can take as long as you like drawing those after our live session ends. But we're just going to, in 1 minute's time, put pencils down and we're going to come back together to finish up today's session. So I think I might have time to look at one more picture that's been sent in. Oh wow, we're getting loads in now. Oh, maybe we'll take a moment or two just to look at a couple more. I'm looking at some more pictures of astronauts' dreams, and there's a lovely picture here of the astronaut dreaming of, it looks like their family and their dog and their fish back on Earth. That's nice. Lovely. And oh wow, yeah, this is fantastic. I've got to show you this perspective art sketch. And I think this is so good that you're able to draw like this on your first attempt, so many of you. This is really, really great sketching here. Very well done. This is, let's have a look. This is Harry. Harry, fantastic. I like your sort of, I guess, zebra crossing pattern. Or is this railway tracks maybe going up the road? That's really lovely. Fantastic. Well done. Let's see if I've got time just to show one or two more. Oh, this is a really good idea. This is a great idea. This is, let's have a look. This is Arthur. What a lovely drawing, Arthur. And I really like the way you've quite cleverly drawn this straight onto the challenge card there. So that's lovely. Gives you a good starting point, actually, doesn't it, for drawing? Really nice. One or two more quickly. Goodness, there's so many coming in. That's brilliant. Oh, fantastic. Let's have a look. This is Yamin. I think this is Yamin. This is lovely. Very well done. We've got so much more detail here than there was on my sketch. Look at this. We've got trees vanishing off to the vanishing point in the horizon and houses, and I love the snow-capped mountains in the background. I think something like that would look fantastic with some colour as well. Really nice. I'm just going to ask on the chat now, because we're getting near to the end of the time that we said. I can spend a couple more minutes showing some of your fantastic artwork if you would like me to. So just let me know on the chat if you'd like to spend another minute or two looking at all of your fantastic Vanishing Point pictures. Yes, please. Okay. Well, some people are adding colour now. Lovely. Okay, we'll try and look at a couple more quickly. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, this is really lovely. Somebody else has sent their astronaut dream sketch, and I'm going to show you that now. Here we go. And I hope you can see this on screen. And this is, I think, Riddy. This is Riddy's moon astronaut dream picture. Lovely, I really like that. Thank you for sending that in. Let's have a look. Any left? Well, fantastic. I have really, really loved seeing your artwork so far today. It's been brilliant, and I hope you've enjoyed sketching and sharing your pictures with me and everybody else here today. If there are any more pictures that come in, then we will find a way to share and show those after today's session, maybe during a future session or in some other way. But thank you so much. Please do send more examples of your work in. It's lovely to see, and I'm so impressed that so many of you have completely got the hang straight away of drawing perspective pictures. We've got some brilliant artists here, so well done. To finish up today, I want to show you one of the other challenges that is on the worksheet that you can download via the link in the description below this video. This is an optional task, but it's something that you might like to have a go at in your own time after today's session has ended. And it's Vanishing Word Art. I wonder if you've ever had a go at creating Vanishing Word Art like this before. This is on the bottom of today's worksheets, and it's got some really nice instructions that explain how you could create Vanishing Word Art, maybe with your own name or for somebody else, or perhaps you've got a birthday coming up and you could create a birthday card with your own Vanishing Word Art. As well as instructions on the sheet for creating this Vanishing Word Art, you can probably see how it's made a little bit like the Vanishing Point pictures we did today. There's a Vanishing Point dot drawn on the page, and then construction lines drawn to the edges of these 2D letters. And it creates these amazing blocks that you can colour in contrasting colours. And you can do it even with more than one line of writing. I'll just scroll up and you can see how it's been done for this person's name here, with a vanishing point in the centre between two letters. And on the last page of today's worksheets, there are actually, I'll show you now, letter outlines, which you could, if you're not quite sure how to do those letters yourself, you can do them in your own style, but you might like to trace over these or copy these when you're creating your own Vanishing Point words. So that's available there, and you can use that if you want to in your own time after today's session. So, I can see some of you are saying that you're going to send in your pictures, or you might have sent in your pictures already. I can't wait to see the rest of your artwork, those of you who are able to send it in. So we're going to finish up now today. It's the end of our stream, but I would remind you one last time, parents, please do enrol via the link at the bottom of the description here, and then we'll tell you about upcoming sessions. We're also going to be sending out more free home learning resources. So please do that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you get those alerts, and we'd love it if you did share your experiences of doing this online learning session on Instagram, Twitter, anywhere you can. Get the word out there to anybody else who you think will find it helpful. It was, again, an absolute honour to be able to do this and help in some small way. Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed spending time with all of you budding artists, and I can't wait to see more of your artwork. Hopefully some of you will join us again for future sessions. Thank you, Emma and Abby as well, for handling so many questions on the chat, busy today. And parents, thank you very much. See you next time.